Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. And we're live. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to June 1st. June 1st in the year 2023. Give yourselves a round of applause for making it. Today we're going to determine what is a real girl versus a tranny boy. Hey, the tranny boy. Look at the tranny boy. Why is he in the girls' race? Tranny boy. Tranny boy. Tranny boy. And the debt ceiling, don't hit your head on the debt ceiling, on the ceiling of the debt. Because there is none, it's virtual. It's a virtual debt ceiling. And it's going to keep going. What else? Jong Un. 308 pounds, do you believe it? I don't know. So welcome to the program, everybody. My name is Marcus Conti. How are you? I'm going to give myself a round of applause. Because it feels good when people clap. It feels good when people clap for you. I feel better now. Just waiting for the stream. Oh, did it again. Just waiting for the stream to kick in. Kick in, stream. When I see my face, I know we're live. When I see me, I know I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Weevil Girl in the house on the wrench. Thank you, Weevil Girl. Mad Cow Mark in the house. Jim Gerard, TJ, Mikhail Slides, Litzy Cooter. All here today. Welcome, everybody. Beautiful, unprecedented weather right now. Going up to 90 degrees. Could be a little on the hot side. But definitely sunny and beautiful. 60 right now here in the northeast of Pennsylvania. Absolutely loving life right now. So what do we do here? I forgot what we do. Oh, yeah, we have a live stream. Just make sure everything is going. Stop, record, stream. Looks like we're live. How are you, man? Welcome. So this is my thumbnail today. And it's about girls. These are real girls, I'm told. We're told. There's no way of really proving if they're real or fake. We just have to accept that a doctor maybe 19, 20 years ago said, yeah, this is a female. They got the female parts. Let's stamp this one female. Right? These alleged biological females, how dare them to even insinuate that they're real girls. And the tranny boys, you heard about the tranny boys jumping into the girls race? Hey man, fuck it, we can't beat the boys, so we'll go run with the girls. That sounds reasonable, right? It's reasonable, right? Women want equal rights and equal this and equal that. Well, now you're equal. Now you got to compete against the tranny boys who they want to be girls. Right? So you could switch with them. You learn from them, right? And they can teach you how to be more boy, and you teach them how to be more girl. Right? I think it might be reciprocal in that way. But the reality is, we have two distinctive sexes in the human species. The distinctive ones, not the gray lines where you look down at your junk and it doesn't look like everybody else's junk. I imagine that's what people are experiencing. This whole new generation is they have extra parts. Is that what they're saying? I look down and I have extra parts, or I don't have the parts that I think I should have. The stupidity of it all. But so these girls decided finally some resemblance of sanity. A bunch of young girls in Connecticut decided to sue the college or the high school. We'll look at the details when I get to it. They're suing because their high school track star careers were destroyed by two specific tranny boys who won all the trophies. Trophies aside and who won the race aside, Are you happy running? Do you enjoy running? Don't let the school and the rules of the school determine who gets to be a girl and a boy. I can tell you this: if those a handful of those Ethiopian, those fucking they make them out in Ethiopia, these Ethiopian runners and Kenyan runners, they run the marathon in 2 hours and 3 minutes, 2 hours 4 minutes, right? What happens if one of those guys, right? What happens if one of the top dog Ethiopian guy decides to be a tranny boy, and then he starts competing? He wins the gold. He wins the award, the trophy for first place in the male division, and then he moseys his way on to the female division and wins. Is he, because he's a tranny boy? He's real. He feels it. I feel like I need a vagina. Is this real? Is this where are the sensible people when it comes to this discussion? Right? You don't close your eyes and walk through busy traffic. We know things of a human nature. Don't eat food that smells like it has poison in it. You know what I mean? And girls should be competing against girls until further notice, or until desired to compete against the boys. Right? Boys should not be allowed to compete against girls, but girls, I believe, in a sense, should be allowed to compete against boys. I think there could be, arguably one division. And if girls keep losing, well, then that's their problem. Maybe that's their calling to get to become stronger than their male counterparts. But to debunk that system of girl-boy and throw a bunch of tranny boys into the girls' arena so that girls could never win again, they don't have a choice in that matter. The girls are choiceless. Right? The tranny boys had a choice. They couldn't beat the boys, so they cut off their junk and they started competing against girls. You shouldn't allow them to do that. Right? Is it possible in the human species where female becomes stronger than male? Right? Where female lifts 500 pounds, where the male lifts 300 pounds. The female runs a 3-minute mile, where the male runs a 4-minute mile. Is that possible in the evolution of humans? Abso-fucking-lutely it's possible. Absolutely it's possible. If women continue to train and develop, eventually, and men continue to get lazy and fat, eventually the paradigm will shift where the woman, the female, is physically, not just spiritually, and family-oriented stronger, but physically stronger. That will evolve. You see it in other species already. There's tons of species, hundreds of thousands, millions of species where the female is the dominant physical specimen. Look at lions and tigers, for example. Lions are tough, but tigers, the female version of the lion, right, is very, very tough. Probably stronger than the man. The man sits around, and the women go out and hunt and kill. So hang in there, women. We're with you, and keep training. And we'll talk more about that story. There's also Jocelyn Maxwell in the news having problems in prison. Kim Jong Un, 308 pounds. Yesterday we heard that in North Korea, they were executing and/or imprisoning for life people that got caught with a Bible. Now, do we believe that story? Anybody with a Bible in North Korea gets sentenced to life, even if you're a 2-year-old kid and your mother had it? I don't believe it. So should we believe that Kim Jong Un, again, another fucking... He's an interesting guy. That's why you talk about him. He's a fascinating, leader of a very recluse world where they say 40% of the population is killing themselves. There's rampant starvation. We don't know any of this, really, what's going on in North Korea. But the newest claim is that he's 308. He's drinking and smoking himself to death. And what else? Clean Slate in New York. That's an interesting subject. I think that's probably a good thing. When someone commits a crime, even if it's a heinous crime, a bad crime, right? We sentence them and we punish them to prison or parole or whatever else the criminal justice system throws at them. And then after that, in my view, they are good to go. What more do we need? Is everything a life sentence? Is every felony, like, I don't know, like the example I gave yesterday, the kid who got pulled over and he had a gun, he's like 17. He got caught with a gun, where he was under, 19. He was under 21. And he had a gun in the car, and for that he got sentenced to a felony. Now, if he were of age, he wouldn't have gotten that felony. So after he serves his time and serves his debt to society, should he be forever a criminal? I don't think so. I think clean slate is a good idea, where people make a mistake, they correct that mistake the right way by serving their time, serving whatever the fucking stupid judge says you have to do. You do it, and then it's over, and there's no issues, and your time expires. I think you should be allowed to re-enter society without anyone having to know that ever happened, or even, and I do mean it, even in the most heinous crimes, right? Those people are not a risk to you anyway. Someone who shoots somebody and serves 20 years in jail, and then is on probation for another 5 years and lives a stellar life, he's no risk to you. Why do you got to keep vilifying him? He can work at McDonald's or whatever. So look at that story too. So Real Girls. This is my website. My name is Marcus Conte. I'm a video philosopher. And we do educational philosophical live streams every morning at 9 a.m. discussing these fascinating human studies, human cases of humanity, and try to understand what it's all about, what it all means. Right? It may mean nothing. It may mean absolutely nothing, right? All this work we do, all this preparation to keep moving forward, it might mean nothing, really. In the final analysis, when the lights go out, you might just say to yourself, you might just realize, wow, what a nothing burger that was. Or you say, wow, that was the waiting room to all of this heaven. Right? Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Either way, good morning, everybody. And Colossal Bigfoot has joined us. Justin Falzone. VDD Martini. Motherfucker. Andy Garcia's in the house as well. Good morning, everybody. Let's start here. So, Ghislaine Maxwell, the infamous madame of Jeffrey Epstein, is being retaliated. She's fearful of being retaliated in prison after she snitched on 2 violent inmates. So what happened to Ghislaine Maxwell in jail is common. She's a rich socialite and has a lot of money. Right? And what the criminals do is they walk up to her and say, listen, bitch, we know you're rich. Listen, rich bitch. You better put some money, you better put all your commissary money in our account, or you're going to have some problems, bitch. They extort the money. They're extorting the Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the allegation. And the criminals, in this case, down there in Florida jail, minimum security, did it in writing, if you can imagine how stupid they were. They wrote a letter to Ghislaine Maxwell telling her what she has to do. That's extortion. You can't do that. That's illegal. And they got the can for that or whatever. But that's what Ghislaine Maxwell is doing. There's some good pictures of her. Here she is in jail. Oh my God, she's messing with the Cubans down there in Florida. Las Cubanas. So they're trying to extort her. It looks like she's she's the librarian. She works in the library. There's a track. She's on the phone, bombshell tapes. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But there's the jail. She's got a track. Minimum security. If you want to hop the fence, go ahead. We're going to catch you anyway. You would have been getting out. But she's serving 20 years. 20 years. Looks like they got a ballpark. Not too bad for a convicted sex trafficker, right? She lives here. She works in the library over there. She runs out on the track during the day. Congratulations, Chesley Maxwell, living out the last 20 years of her life. No problem. No problem. I wanted to say something about these jackoffs. Gen Z fame junkies are running this iconic New York park. So there's a phenomenon now in Washington Square Park of a bunch of clowns running around, YouTube and TikTok clowns running around, infiltrating Washington Square Park with their cameras, trying to get gotcha moments. Hey, guess what? I got to tell you something. I was first to do any of that. Right? I remember when I used to walk around Washington Square Park talking to anybody and everybody, and people looked at me like I had four heads. Well, now it's all the rave. All the rave. Look at that. What I was doing is now I'm touting myself. What I was doing back then is now commonplace now. Washington Square Park, I love Washington Square Park. I got to go back and say hello. This notion, the New York Post is blowing this out of proportion. Gen Z fame junkies are ruining the park. Let me tell you something, man. Nothing ruins Washington Square Park more than a bunch of jackoffs saying, "You're ruining the park, man. Hey, man. Hey, man, dig yourself, man." You'll get the old hippies, the old hippie women come up to you. "Hey, man, you're making too much noise in the park, and we've been living here for 40 years, and you need to keep the noise down." Right? They'll say something like that. Or, "How dare you lay in the grass naked? You can't do that." Right? "How dare you smoke your marijuana openly in Washington Square Park? Don't you know? Don't you respect the children?" Look, Washington Square Park has been raging on, and that's the obviously the iconic fucking whatever it's called monument. But Washington Square Park has a long history of being cutting edge, and if you don't like that if you don't like being flipped or going in there and having people swarm you with a camera asking you stupid questions, then don't go into Washington Square Park. Walk around it. You don't have to go in there, right? You don't have to go in there and find out what's going on in culture. You can just simply not go in. But anyway, man. So what else we got? Clean slate, right? So I mentioned this earlier. Clean slate means that your criminal conviction, misdemeanor and/or felonies, would be expunged after a certain period of time, right? The time being after you successfully either serve the prison sentence or the time served, whatever the judge says you need to do, right? And you do it. And then more time, I think they add like 3 years or 7 years for a felony and another 3 years for a misdemeanor. After that period of time, right? 3 years of no supervision and 7 years of no supervision, and there's no incidences of crimes, no legal infractions. I think you should be free. I think you should be free of that. I don't think anybody ever has to know about that ever again. Right? What it is the past, right? What is this life sentence that everything now, because of the computerization of documents, everything is a life sentence. You once, when you were 19 years old, you smoked pot in Washington Square Park, and you're a fucking criminal. That shit follows you around forever. Right? Or you had a fist fight and you beat up the other guy, which happened to me once upon a time. Right? So you have I think expungement is a good idea. I think that it's not even expungement. It means no one has to know. You shouldn't make it like anybody could use your past against you when you already served your time, when you served your debt to society. I believe that. You make a mistake, you correct the mistake, you don't remake the mistake. Now, if you made it, keep making the same mistake over and over again, and there's no gap, well, then there's no forgiveness there. But I think New York is right about this. I got to agree with Governor Hatchell here that they're trying to push through the Clean Slate Act. That's not to say that you're supporting the revolving door of criminals. That's not what it is at all. These are the law-abiding people now that made a mistake in the past and see that mistake and don't make the mistake again and don't want to make the mistake. They become outstanding citizens. And maybe more so, like, oh, yeah, I had a horrible past and now I carry the message into jails and talk to kids about it. A lot of people do that, right? They see the horrificness of their mistake, whether it's addiction or stealing or killing or whatever they did, and they reform themselves and move towards carrying that message. So anyway, what else? Kim Jong Un 308 is Kim Jong Un 308. Kim Jong Un's now 308 pounds insomniac in a vicious cycle of smoking and boozing, says a spy. I don't believe it. The last time we heard, and then they flashed the pictures of fat Kim Jong Un with his daughter, fat, smoking, drinking, smoking, and drinking. So Kim Jong Un, chubby North Korean tycoon Kim Jong Un's weight has ballooned to more than 300 pounds, and he pulls all-nighters in a vicious cycle of heavy smoking and boozing, according to spies from the South. Spy? I don't know, man. That seems to be a death sentence in North Korea. How did you spy? How did you do it? What do you have, a plant inside of North Korea? Because you certainly didn't go there and see it. How did you find out about this? I'm just not believing it. He likes Marlboro cigarettes. He smokes them like there's no tomorrow. He's on medications for his insomnia. Nobody knows any of this, right? You remember about a year ago, they said that he was in a coma or he was dead. He was seen with scratches and bruises. It's all bullshit, right? This is interesting, too. While Kim Jong Un is exploding to 300 pounds, allegedly, and smoking his ass off with fancy cigarettes from America, death from hunger so far this year are up 3 times higher than a year ago in North Korea. And deaths from suicide is up 40%. That's crazy, right? People are starving, and Kim Jong Un is eating his fucking face off. I don't know if I believe any of this stuff. I really don't know. Right? How are these troops doing? No fat troops. You're not allowed to be fat. Only the boss can be fat. You eat what we give you, motherfucker. Why are you fat? You're eating too much of the food. But Kim Jong Un eats all the food. In a place where food is scarce, allegedly. Look how fat this guy is, right? This guy's skinny. This guy's like, man, I wish I was that fat. That's what these guys are clapping for. They're like, fat. We want to be fat. Right? Maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know. So I don't know if I believe that. So let's talk about the fast runners. Market is open. Stop what you're doing. Ding! And we're open. So what do we got here? We got NASDAQ is kind of flat it looks like it's going to pop green right now. NASDAQ popping green. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 160 to 32.7, and S&P 500 down a point. That's probably going to go green as well. So NASDAQ is, there it went. NASDAQ just popped green in the first minute. Let's see what we got. We got. This is the debt ceiling talk. You got to watch the debt ceiling talk. So these are the last few days on the NASDAQ, and it opened slightly down. You could see I think the pattern is clearly still up. You see how the momentum is clearly up. It'll probably take another dip right here and head up again. I don't see why the NASDAQ would contract. Apple is up 39 cents, Amazon up 24, Google up 48 cents, all cents. Meta, Facebook up $4.50 a share to $2.69. What a spectacular comeback for Facebook stock. Meta, META, on the NASDAQ. Microsoft down $2.61. Rivian down another 19 cents to $14.53. That's my dream stock. I'll keep talking about it. Rivian is my dream stock. You know why Rivian is my dream stock? Because I know that Amazon and Jeff Bezos own 20% of the stock in Rivian. That's significant. That's earth-shaking. So a guy like Jeff Bezos with all his billions, down the road, if they're holding that stock, 20% of the stock, they want that shit to go up. And they buy all their trucks from Rivian. Right? All those Amazon trucks are Rivian made. And it just makes sense that if you hold 20% of the float and you buy all of your trucks from that seller, eventually the price will go up. Now, the Rivian IPO'd at $90 a share. And then it went up to, I think, as high as 200 in the first 2 weeks. And then it settles. It comes down. And went all the way down from 200 all the way down to, I think, $12 a share. But the point is, if you look long term, let's look at it. I keep talking about it because if you buy it at this level, right? If you buy Rivian down here in the 14s and 13s and 12s and 15s, right? At some point, it just makes sense. See, this is overall, right? It's only been live for a year. Right, that's what it looks like right there. It's straight down, right? It's down, down, down. But then when it starts to do this sideways pattern, it could come down a little more. The downside is maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 2 or 5. But either way, at some point it levels off and then it reverses. So if you come in big right here at 14 and it goes back to, I don't know, even 40 or 50 or 70, you know how much money that is? That's like, that's a grand slam. Right? Grand slam. If you're looking for a grand slam, I think Rivian could definitely be one of them. Tesla down $3 today. So we're holding. No, we're not. Now we went red. So the Dow just turned ugly. Down 154. S&P, NASDAQ down 27. So what were we talking about? What was I talking about? I forgot. Oh, debt ceiling. Oh, yeah. So before we talk about the girls, let's talk about the debt ceiling. That's what's moving the market right now. House voted Wednesday night to approve a bill that would raise the debt ceiling for more than 2 years. No doubt about it. No doubt about that. The debt ceiling. Let me get back to. I just got confused. Take a break. Take some water, man. Sometimes my mouth gets ahead of my brain. That happens sometimes. How's everybody doing, man? How you guys doing? Philly Camden, Colossal Bigfoot in the house. Jonte Thackeray. Jonte. What's up, everybody? Yeah, so I'm just reading the stuff. So, fastest girl in Connecticut Let's talk about it. Fastest girl, here they are. Here's the girls. These are real girls competing against boys. All right, fastest girl in Connecticut, Chelsea Mitchell, suing state after losing to trans athletes. Oh my God, she's a transphobic. What's the matter, Chelsea? You don't like boys? At the end of the day, this is just about fairness, Chelsea Mitchell told the Post. This is about biology. Biology? Sorry, Chelsea, we don't do biology anymore. We don't do evidence. We don't do biology. We do whatever we want to do, but you do what we tell you to do. You understand how that works, Chelsea? We do what we want to do, and you do what we tell you to do. If we tell you to bend over and take your vaccine in your ass, you better bend over and take that vaccine in your ass, and put your mask on too, and get your fucking 6 feet. Keep your 6 feet, bitch. All right. They don't. You're not allowed to do what you want to do. You can't decide. So. At the end of the day, this is just about fairness. The 20-year-old is fighting for the integrity of women's sports after she lost more than 20 races over the course of her high school career, thanks to a Connecticut policy that allows tranny athletes to compete in girls' sports. Congratulations, Connecticut. You did it. Now, Mitchell, who has declared herself the fastest girl in Connecticut, is challenging the state's policies. Look at the picture. There she is. She's a real girl. She's a hottie, and look what she's got to compete against. There she is in her race, and she's got two dudes. The same two motherfuckers are in every race. And look at the other girl. She looks like a real girl. She's got breasts. She's trying to get in front of the fucking trannies. Imagine that. You're a girl runner and you got to deal with this shit. What a fucking twist of fate. I don't want to run against the boys. They're faster than me. They are faster than you. They are faster than you because they evolved to be faster. And you can also evolve to be faster. You can get out of the kitchen, or at least your great grandchildren will get out of the kitchen and stop being the 19th century female and start training, and you will beat the men eventually. See, if men de-evolve, I got news for you. Species, we are not things. Humans are not permanent things. We're not objects like a chair, something that we build, or a rock that's been around for a fucking million years. We're life. We're evolving quickly, life. And we see it all around us, life evolving, right? And we see life transforming as well. Humans have the ability to transform. Humans have the ability to train and transform their body and their mind and pass that training on to the offspring who pass it on to the next offspring. And as generations evolve, women can, if they want to, beat the man on the physical playing field. Meaning that there's just sports. There's no male sports or female sports. There's just sports, which I believe is a good idea. But right now. Oh, and the other thing is, there are no male sports. By the way, there's no rule about what sex you are in football, or hockey, or basketball. You could, if you're a good enough baseball player, ladies, you can try out for the New York Yankees and get on the fucking team. If you could hit the ball fucking 500 feet over the fence, right, or throw a 97-mile-an-hour fastball 9 out of 10 times a strike, the Yankees will pick you up, man. If you could play second base better than anybody alive, the Yankees want to talk to you, and they don't care about what's between your legs. They'll give you your own fucking locker room. So there is no, that's a theory. That's not real, that there are segregated sports at the professional level. They just can't compete. Women have tried to play in the NHL and they get their ass kicked. The guys fucking crash them into the boards and the girl's done. You want to tell me like some 100 and fucking 40-pound girl is going to go up against a 200-pound defenseman for the fucking Philadelphia Flyers? They're going to get crushed, right? And there's no mercy because it's sports. It's equal. My job as a defenseman is to stop you from moving that puck into the strike zone. But eventually, could women skate faster and be stronger than the big man? Yes, and yes, but not right now. Not right now. But going the other way is not only counter-evolutionary. Excuse me. I just moved everything just shifted. Everything just moved. I had an earthquake in the house. I felt an earthquake. You saw that? You saw my camera move? There was an earthquake. This is counter-evolutionary. These are young girls competing against physically superior, and yes, they are superior, physically superior beings. All right? You can make the argument that they're mentally equal, which that's an easy argument to make. Just look at, you can measure it in terms of scholastic. Women out-achieve men incredibly in so many fields, right? And so many times that's been proven. But I got to tell you, on that physical training field, it's hard to deny that the man is stronger than the woman. I mean, it's inescapable. Every sport, every measure of physical strength that's measurable, like how much can you lift, how fast can you run, how far can you hit the ball, how far can you throw the ball, all those, how far can you do anything, are all measurable with numbers. And so it does look like at this point in history, males are physically stronger than females. And to throw a bunch of confused young boys, the tranny-BOYS, into the arena with the girls, suggesting that they are girls, is utter fucking ridiculous. It's counter-evolution. It's going backwards. You're supposed to be going forward. So when a woman joins the NHL and tries to compete against the New York Rangers and steps on the ice and 50 seconds later is sitting on the bench with a bloody nose and crying because the boys beat her up, that's not the same. You know what I mean? That's not the same as this, right? The girl cannot compete. But when the tranny-boy comes into the high school girls track meet and wins, that is unfair. And it always will be until the woman is, the female is physically capable of competing. So these girls, long story short, she's the leader of the lawsuit, and these are her friends, I imagine, the other two girls. Yeah, these other two girls joined the lawsuit. For her, those goals were winning a state championship and looking to college for track. But in her first statewide competition, she was forced to compete against tranny athlete, something she said, quote, she had never really heard of, happening until it happened to her. In that race, the tranny bumped her out of qualifying for the next round of competition. So everywhere along the line, they're getting bumped out by tranny-BOYS. In this case, it would seem like it was the two. Right? It was these same two tranny kids, taking the fucking steam away from the young girl. So that's really it. I mean, it's girls are girls, boys are boys for now. You can't You can't escape that. What do we got here? What do we got here? Why is the futures up? Futures aren't even happening anymore. I'm quite concerned about the market. I do want to see how it pans out. It looks like it still looks like we're red this morning. Dow is down 149, Nasdaq down 17, S&P 500 down 4. That shouldn't be really taken as a bad thing. It's not plunging. It's holding for the next, I would say, the next bump up. It looks like Nasdaq down 14%. Not 14%. I take that back. Down 11 points. Looks like it's making a comeback. So anyway, we'll find out the debt ceiling probably Monday. We'll know. Let's talk about the debt ceiling. These guys. Whoa. You got to watch a commercial. Let me see what happened here. What happened? Give it to me. I'll watch the commercial. I'll watch a commercial with you. What is this? I think we're jamming.
All right, joining me now is North Carolina Congressman Dan Bishop, who voted against the bill, and Wisconsin Congressman Derek Van Orden, who voted for the bill. So, Congressman Bishop, a few minutes ago, Joe Biden put out a statement and said this agreement is good news for the American people and the American economy. 165 Democrats voted for it. You opposed it. Is it good news for the American people?
Pete, I think the indication in the vote that more Democrats voted for the bill than Republicans did, and of course Republicans have a larger number of members in the chamber, is a sign who got the best of the deal, and that the benefits of the deal as sold by the leadership they haven't been square with the American people about it. Biggest problem of all is the debt limit by Kevin McCarthy's own initiative, and without the advance agreement of the conference, is stretched out a year longer than we proposed to do, and the incurrence of probably nobody has an exact number because they didn't specify it in the bill, although they should have. $4 trillion, maybe.
So there's a lot of bullshit being talked about so far. This bill is going to pass by Monday.
Or in additional debt on the American people is to be incurred without any opportunity to come again and try to gain more in terms of real and substantial benefits. So it's a missed opportunity. Obviously, the biggest problem, it split the Republican conference deeply. And now Kevin McCarthy's got to figure out how we reacquire the unity that we started the year with after as a result of the contest for the speaker's election.
Well, I want to get to that in a moment. But Representative Van Orden, are you concerned by? We thought maybe 35 or 40 Republicans would vote against it. The number was 71 on the final vote. Are you concerned by the fact that so many Democrats liked it and so many conservative Republicans didn't?
No, I'm not. I'm not at all, Pete. There's a lot of people talking about what is not in that bill, but let's talk about what is in that bill.
What's in the bill? What's in the bill, brother? Tell us.
It protects the people that built this nation. Those are our seniors. It protects the people that protected this nation.
So that's confirmed that Medicaid and Social Security is not going to get cut. The Democrats keep running.
Those are our veterans. It protects the people.
Protects veterans. Okay.
People that feed this nation. Those are our farmers by making sure that our biofuel industries remain viable. And it helps the people most in need in the United States of America. I'm on the SNAP committee on purpose because I was raised in poverty in food stamps. So what this does is it allows these folks to get back into the workforce because we have real work requirements in this bill for the first time in a very...
So the good Republican congressman is saying that we're going to put work requirements on people who get food stamps because we're going to help them get back into the workforce, right? They're giving away an extra $4 trillion, but they're telling that needy guy over there who needs food stamps because he can't feed himself that you're going to have to work harder, man, because we're not going to feed you, all right? Because you're fucking with the national debt. The food stamp. If everybody in the country got food stamps, it wouldn't even be, it'd be a few $1 billion. Right? We can handle that. But $4 trillion for military, right? This guy's talking about squeeze the people that get food stamps. That's what he just said. Right? Squeeze the people who get food stamps, make them work for their food stamps, for their benefit, and leave everybody else alone.
Very long time, and it allows people the dignity to be able to support their own families.
Some people on food stamps can't work. That's why they're on food stamps. They're disabled. They're mentally fucking stuck. They just don't know how to do anything, right? Maybe. I don't know.
So no, I'm not worried
Well, they're just lazy.
about how many Republicans didn't vote for this. I'm sure that we're all going to get together on Monday again.
Lazy is a disease, by the way. It's a disease. Lazy, I don't want to do this. I can't do it.
And we're going to work together as a conference because that's what adults do. Governing is very difficult, and we're at it hard here in the House.
I'm curious, real quick, Congressman Van Orden, what did you hear from constituents? Like, on balance, were they for or against this? Was there a sense in your office?
You know what? It was about 50.
All right, I'm done with these guys. So debt ceiling will probably, by Monday, you'll see a deal, and everybody will love each other, and there'll be tongue kissing outside the halls of Congress, and the Senate is going. The next move is the Congress passes the bill over to the Senate, and then Sunday night in the wee hours, Joe Biden comes along and signs it, and everybody's happy. Thanks for joining me. My name is Vargas County. Get outside, enjoy the sun today. It's beautiful out. It was 55 when we started the program. Now it's 70 and sunny. I love the weather. Love the weather. Peace, everybody. See you tomorrow.